They're going to mess you up, Buster. You're going to be going off that, and they're going to be like, yeah, man, he said such and such was good. And then when they get in my prime example, I'm going to use is one of the big L teams. I'm going to use the Chicago Bears. The Bears. And going into camp, nobody was talking about Jordan Howard. I told people at the beginning, don't be surprised if Jordan Howard takes over. Nobody listened to me because Langford had the job. And I was like, although I'm not hating on Langford, but come on, man. He had a few good games at the end of the season, and Matt Forte, he was on his way out anyway. We just don't know yet. Nobody was talking about Jordan Howard. Then what happened? Jordan Howard blow up, now all of a sudden it's all about Jordan Howard, So I'm just telling you, be careful. Be careful with this news that's out there. But I don't get why they give out this news. It's just like, hey, why don't you just say they're at practice, they're putting in the work, we'll see what happens, on it. We're feeling pretty good, about our selections, but nobody's put on any pads. Yeah, I think pads are tomorrow. Man, I think some of the teams might have put on pads today, but nobody's played a preseason game. Nobody, got in a real good scrimmage or whatever against another team or anything like that. We don't know. All right. Buster, I keep saying Buster. Buster said the Bears suck, so he basically sending shots at Big L. So Big L, you better respond, man, because I know you just got disrespected, so I know you're not going to take that, man. I know you're not going to take that. Denise said she's glad football is back. I am too, Denise. It is well overdue, and we've been waiting, far too long, for it to kick off. So what we're going to kick off in the show is we're going to do the AFC North reviews. Yeah, we're going to talk about those Steelers, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, and and where I got them, falling, into the mix for the review. So, but before we do that, we're gonna take a break real quick, and then we'll come back, and then we'll talk about this AFC review. All right.
All music artists, lend me your ear. Looking for that hot beat to make your next hit? Go to farrelljaromusic.com. Tired of paying for overpriced studio time for mediocre beats? Go to farrelljaromusic.com. FarrellJaroMusic.com offers industry-quality hip-hop, trap, R&B, and pop beats that will take your creativity to the next level. We know it's hard to find dope beats out there, so don't waste any more time searching YouTube or whack beat-selling websites. Go to FarrellJaroMusic.com today to cop the beat for your next hit. Mixing and mastering services available too. Once again, go to FarrellJaroMusic.com. That's FARROJARRO music.com for the hottest beats in the game.
This is number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern on a Recap Monday doing his recap show. We're going to talk about sports, entertainment. We're going to have call interviews, on the spot calls. This is just a show that will bring nothing but passion and joy and understanding to all the listeners on the Two Live Stews radio platform. The number one Chief Rocker, Jersey Vern.
This is Key C from the
Kicking It With Key C show.
On the newly rebranded Two Live Stews radio network. We will continue to bring you the hottest, most interesting guests and commentary in the areas of social, politics, culture, music, and more. Continue to tune in.
Give it to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and you just heard two of the homies or teammates, if you will, on the Two Live Stews radio network, Chief Rocker Jersey Vern and Kicking It With Kesey, my man Kesey Ingram. So, ladies and gentlemen, they got shows on here. Make sure you tune in. We got a nice schedule, and I'm telling you, all things that you would want to hear. So make sure you're tuning in on the Two Live Stews Radio Network that you're on right now. My man, Chief Rocker Jersey Vern, he is on Mondays, 1 to 3. And my man, Jeff Fox. We got more people on all shows. So we got every Monday through Friday. We always got something going on, but Chief is on 1 to 3. Kesey is on actually tomorrow at 9 p.m. So make sure you tune in there. And we got Ryan Stewart, Doug Stewart's brother from the Two Live Stews. That's why we talk about Two Live Stews. There, he's on Thursdays tomorrow as well, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Jeff Fox, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. And Root Dog, 4 to 6 as well. So that's the schedule for tomorrow. So make sure you tune in to the Two Live Stews Radio Network. We're going to have it popping all day and day, So we're going to get back into my AFC North review. And you know what I do. I'm sorry. Before I go into the review, Bussa said he wants a t-shirt, So Bussa, it's very easy. Go to the waitaminuteshow.com. When you go there, all you got to look upper right. It's going to say shop. You click on that. It's going to show you the shirts that's available, colors, all that. You put in your order. Bam! They're going to mail it out to you, and you're good to go. So, back to this AFC North review. We've already covered the West, covered the South, covered the East. East was very easy in the AFC. So now we're going to do the North. We're going to finish that up, and then, of course, we'll start on the NFC next week. So, as we always do, or as I always do, we go over last year. So last year, we're going to go from bottom to top. The Browns, no surprise, everyone knows. They went 1-15. They finished last. Bengals were 6-9. Ravens was 8-8. And the Steelers, who won division, went 11-5. So there is your worst to first reviews for last year. Now, some of the stuff that, or some of the rankings that they had, was quite surprising. And, I think they just some teams just ran into, some bad weeks, maybe some bad losses, on it. But we're going to talk about, this year, because last year is what it is. You can't do anything about it. All you can do is work on this year and see if you can change anything. So without further ado, we're going to talk about who I have finish in last place, and they will finish again in last place in the AFC North. It will be the Cleveland Browns. And I know DJP Funk probably don't like me saying that, but it is what it is. You go 1-15. You are not the old school vintage St. Louis Rams, where they went worst to first, but they are definitely headed in the right direction, I want to say. And what I mean by that is that their offensive line is ranked in the top 10. Basically, you have to just start establishing some dominance with your skilled players, because you got the line. And it starts with the quarterback. You have to make up your mind what you want to do, who's going to be that guy. Now, you got Cody Kessler that was there. He did an all right job, for the situation that they put him in. But they also drafted this Kaiser kid, out of Notre Dame, and they have Brock Osweiler. So you need to find out who's going to be your guy. Some people say it's not even it might be Says boy, Sam Donald, if he decides to come out, next year. But you need to get that together. You need to get your quarterback. You got some nice running backs. Stu Johnson and Isaiah Crowell. I think they, are serviceable, running backs. Wide receiver is the big thing. I mean, Terrell Pryor was your leading wide receiver last year, and he was playing wide receiver full time for the first time. So that should say something. So they got a lot of holes that they need to, fill, and they got to get both sides of the ball. Even though they got a top 10 offensive line, if you're not producing, then no one pays attention to that. All we remember last year, he was 31st in defense and 30th in offense. So 76ers, trust the process. I think Sasha Brown, if I remember right, is their GM. He's working this whole analytics thing and all that stuff. So we'll see, what happens, with the Browns, this year. I do have them definitely winning more than one game. I think they'll probably win 5, And then they'll be early in the draft again, but making moves, just like the 76ers. And I think pretty soon we're going to start seeing this payoff, but not this year. Not this year. It's still going to be, the bumps in the road that they're going to have to go through. Now, in third place, I got finishing in the AFC North. I got the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, the Baltimore Ravens, they had a pretty good offense. They were defense. I'm sorry. Defense, they were seventh in the NFL, which is very great. And they were middle of the pack in offense. But here's the problem. Already, we haven't even played a preseason game yet. And Joe Flacco, we're talking about him having back issues. And I was going to talk about this last week, but something came up at the last moment. I can't even remember what it was from last week that bumped, me talking about Joe Flacco. But Joe Flacco got a back issue, and I've yet to see anyone, when they say it's just a minor, situation, no back situation is minor. When you got a back situation, you got a back situation. Now, it's not the exact same thing, but how did that work out for J.J. Watt? Remember J.J. Watt last year? He downplayed, the whole back situation or whatever, went out there, tried to play on it, and it didn't work out. He had to sit out the entire year, after a couple games, out there playing. So initially the report was 3 to 6 weeks, and now Flacco talking about a week. Then they're talking about he'll be ready for, game one and all that stuff. You can be ready to play game one, but it don't mean your back right. I mean, all it takes is one pass, and that back go, whoop, So that concerns me. That's why I got them in third place, because I obviously, as we know, Joe Flacco is the main piece to that team. And judging by the reports, Ryan Mallett was not the greatest, guy in camp. But again, that's those reports again that I was telling you about. But he has shown, though, that maybe he's not the guy, to be playing backup, for a franchise. But you don't want to put that into Ryan Mallett's hand. You really want Joe Flacco back there. But if he got a back issue, that's not good. That's not good at all. And you haven't even played one game. Also, they've lost a few guys. Kenneth Dixon, he was supposed to serve 4 games this year, and they thought they were going to get him back. Now he goes out with a season-ending knee injury. They lost Crockett Gilmore just recently as well. Now, they do have some good things like Jeremy Maclin, but if you don't got anybody to get the ball to Maclin, then that's a problem. So with the injuries that's already has hit the team, and they lost a rookie, I think today as well, which was their 4th round draft pick. You got what my man named Herschel. I think it's Herschel or Urschel, but I think it's Herschel. He retired. He was one of their linemen. So you got a lot of stuff, going on. I think Crockett Gilmore, you lost him for the season as well. So you're losing, players right out the gate, and it's pretty hard to replace those players when camp has started, because everyone has made their moves. So defense, I think they still will be good. You got a lot solid defense, but you need the offense to help you out, because you can't depend on the defense for an entire 60 minutes. Moving into second place that I'm going to have in the AFC North. The Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, I just wanted to pause there for a second. I know people thinking like, I know he ain't going to put, who I think he is there. Now, I'm going to put the Bengals. Bengals finished third last year, again, at 6-9. That, to me, that was just a horrible season, for them. AJ Green got hurt. Tyler Eifert got hurt. Who else? Somebody else got hurt. Andy Dalton, I think. No, that was the year before. But Andy Dalton just had, just a horrible year. Now, this team, we've been waiting on them to get over the hump and get past one playoff game. I'm not even going to get into that. They will compete in the division for first place. They've had first place before, in the division. So they are very well capable of getting in that. And with that bad season that they had, They went 6-9, so they didn't even go 500. But they were in middle of the pack pretty much in almost everything.